it's time to revisit Jed Wallace's declaration from way back when, now that we have this interrogatory answer from Blake Lively citing two evidence about the smear campaign. If you remember, Wallace filed this declaration largely because of his motion to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction, which was ultimately granted. But he included some stuff in there about his role in this case, and that counts. It's sworn testimony. He has also been deposed. That is sworn testimony. Now, some of the stuff that Lively cited to that he testified to is redacted at the moment. We can't see it yet. But I felt the need. I was like, I wonder, I'm going to go back to that and see if there's inconsistencies there. And it's really interesting. Now, it's not lost on me that he has a very, very good lawyer, the Texas guy. And, when you're drafting declarations and affidavits for your client, you're real careful with words, real careful. And they were very careful here, in my opinion. And some people might even come to the conclusion that they were not telling the truth, depending on how you see the activities. But I also just wanted to say, because the first thing, I'm sure the Lively people are all going to be like, oh my God, he lied, and this proves that he lied, and all that. And that's not a decision for me to make. But I can tell you that as a lawyer, sometimes your client comes in and is like, hey, this is what happened. And you're like, okay, let's put together an affidavit. I'll wordsmith it a little bit and okay, we'll figure this out, whatever, it's all okay. And then the client leaves and you go into your colleague's office and you're like, we are so fucked. That client is so fucked. So I don't know where his lawyer sits on that realm, right? But I can tell you that this was incredibly closely drafted, and let me show you why. Now, somebody tell me if I'm missing one, but I asked the experts, and I think that Lively's interrogatory answers shows that the following things were done. Boosting content and amplifying content, which, reposting, blah, blah, blah. Suppressing links. Shifting the narrative towards Blake and Ryan and away from Baldoni. Doesn't really say exactly how. Tag was talking directly to, I have one thumb up and I'm saying, Tag was talking directly to reporters and creators. And astroturfing, which my understanding is using fake accounts to like and comment on posts to change how that post works. Now, let's look at what Wallace said. Let's start with 17. Neither I nor Street posted anything on social media on behalf of the Wayfair parties. They boosted and amplified, astroturf, suppressed links, tag talked to reporters, shifted the narrative. So if the shifting of the narrative was to add content to the web, then that is not true. If the shifting of the narrative was done through things other than posts, that could potentially still be true. 18, neither I nor Street have ever asked or directed anyone to post about, comment on, or like any social media posts. Okay. You know what that doesn't say? I have never commented on or liked any social media posts about It Ends With Us. So if he was doing the astroturfing, just Jed, all by himself, and he was shifting the narrative and he was suppressing links, that could technically still be accurate, yeah? Talk to me in the comments, because a lot of you guys know the facts better than I do. But I'm just looking at the drafting. I've never asked or directed anyone to, but I'm not saying I didn't. Let's look at 19. This is my favorite, I think. It's real careful. I have never published, directly or indirectly, any information or content, negative or otherwise, regarding Lively. So that to me, when you start looking at all of this stuff, is like, I have never added new information to the internet about them that wasn't already there. I haven't published. I guess when you publish, it's kind of like the post thing. I have never added information. What it appears he did was change how information was received, boosted, amplified, liked, commented on, all of that. So that is very careful wording there. Somebody was going to, thesaurus.com, like, what can we say? I have never published. I'm telling you right now, the word published was very carefully thought through. And then if you look at 29, the rest of this is all just, I've never met Lively, who cares, blah, blah, blah. Neither I nor Street communicated or caused content to be provided to any journalist, content creators, blah, 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 blah. I think we know that is true. Tag did, right? There's allegations and evidence apparently that Tag did, but he's like, but I didn't. I didn't directly communicate with anybody. I didn't cause content to be provided. He probably consulted with them. I mean, we've seen him consulting with them about what's being provided. But he didn't communicate. You have to look at the verbs. Did he communicate? No. Did he cause? No. This is what he's going to say. Let's go back and look at these verbs. Posted. Asked or directed. Published. Tell me what you think. Did he lie? Did he shade the truth? Is this just like, articulated down to the teeth? I mean, he has a pretty good lawyer. Now, he could have lied to his lawyer, but it is not obvious to me that any of these things are just out and out lies. Some of them are awfully close. But I'm curious what you guys think. Does this still hold up or not? And by the way, the fact that he's not a defendant in the case anymore doesn't matter because he's still a witness. He's a witness in this case, no matter how you slice it. He's not getting out of that. So whether he perjured himself still matters. So tell me what you think.